Hello, everyone. Just wait a little bit till we get some more people in. I think I left the door open. I'll be right back. Come on, get in here. Come on, boy. Come on, get in here. Boy, come on. Well, it is, 9:21 in the morning on December 20th, 2025. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you slept well. I certainly did. I did not record one message last night, which means I think I slept the whole night, which is rare. I don't think that's happened in over 20 years. I don't recall the last time ever that I did not record a message in the middle of the night. So that's interesting. Let's check in, shall we? See what's going on. Collective message, please. Spirit collective message. What's happening with the planet? What's going on with the planet? We got some stuff happening. We got somebody staying. Some people are staying. Some people are going. Yeah, the Christmas decorations, my lady friends, we had a gathering for the elders, and my lady friends decided that we needed to have Christmas decorations. I didn't have any because I don't typically do that. But one of the ladies brought over that Christmas tree and the lights and the bulbs and everything, and set it up for me. And then she came back on the day that we were having the gathering and told me that he said I could keep it. So now I have a Christmas tree and lights and bulbs and everything. I don't ever have to go get it. And every year I can put this up. Isn't that nice? That was real nice. Am I 18? That's funny. Perhaps in some space and place I am. I certainly feel inside that I am young. Most definitely. All right, so Holy Spirit, Divine Spirit, please let us know what's the planetary situation for the collective. Mind you, this is a collective read, so it won't be for everybody. It won't resonate for everybody. I'm looking at the macro, and I sometimes speak as though I'm speaking of a singular couple or person, but please know that there are many of you out there. So do what you need to do with the storyline and how it will fit or pertain to you. If it does not fit for you, please don't make it fit or try to make it fit, because it isn't my intention to upset anybody, by trying to force anything into your life. It just certainly isn't that. Please don't let tarot ruin your life. It is simply a tool to make sense out of messaging that I receive all the time. So it just kind of puts it into a format that is easily understood. Yeah. I don't reach in on any particular person's energy. And the messaging that I receive are given to me. So I don't go looking for anything. I don't pry anybody's life. It just shows up as it shows up. Thanks for being here, everybody. Oh, we got the truth. The truth is being exposed, and the ace of, oh gosh, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. We got lots of opportunity and, look, generosity and charity and a new beginning. Oh, my gosh, and a wish come true. A wish come true. Yeah, because somebody was using love to try to box you in the ears. And then here's the Ace of Cups. So, okay. All right, let's check it out. Oh, come on now. Well, it's just so taboo, Everybody says it's taboo. And I think the people who have drilled that into the minds of the collective are those who are trying to remain hidden and be sneaky, So they get offended when we pick up on what they're doing and start speaking about it. So they want to, criminalize us so that they can continue being shady. And it's just is what it is. All right, so let's begin, shall we? In the central energy, what do we got for the collective situation, planetary situation? Please, Spirit, what's happening? Well, we got the, what is that? The Six of Swords. We're moving through a transition. And I've heard this curator talking about transfer. So they've been talking about transfer. Now, there's like a transference of souls. God's claiming his people, and God doesn't need to stick a knife in it to do so. So we got some stuff happening here. You're transitioning, you're moving on, you're leaving that baggage behind. Moving on. In the challenge position, please, Spirit, in the challenge position. Justice. The law of cause and effect. Everything's being made fair, and that's what Spirit said a few weeks back. They're going to make this right. So that's the thing too. I heard these masculines telling the youngers that they were like, there's like a masculine, the visual, or it wasn't really a visual, it was more of a sensation. The fellow was sitting in a chair, and above him, he's got these two guys like hovering over him, and they're like pushing in on him the unworthiness of this feminine, and they're trying to program them to go in and then lure her back into their territory, because they can't go to her and just take her. She has to go to them. So they're programming these youngers, these masculines that are very sweet, to go in and lure her back into their territory so they can do a thing. So be very careful about any younger masculines wanting to lead you into a path, because it'll be a trap, it's inside, they're programming them to do this. So just be wary. They're fighting it too, by the way. They're insisting that she's innocent, and they're like, no. So just so you know, it's not like they're not willing, you know. But these masculines are still trying to exert their authority over their minds and their actions. So in the subconscious, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. In the recent past. And just so you know, I don't know how to moderate right here, but anybody who's going to come here and be nasty or whatever, later on I'll review the live and all of the comments, and I'll go ahead and block those people who are being nasty here. So my apologies if that arises, you know, and I'll just go ahead and apologize now for any nastiness that might come through this live feed. I'll block it later when I get a chance. In the recent past, the star, the healer. So you've been rejuvenated. I've heard say that you're experiencing a miraculous recovery. It's like God is sanitizing people. Now, I think on the adversary side, I believe this is they're losing their memories. They're losing their knowledge on how to and their gifts, their third eye sight, their ability to astral project, their ability to do magic. They might be losing all of that knowing so that they can not hurt anybody anymore with that. And as far as the collective goes, I believe we're being sanitized of all of the nastiness that had been layered into our energetic field so that we can be seen as we truly are. The star, a miraculous recovery. You're being revitalized. Intentions and expectations. The Two of Swords. So there's a settling of the energy. You've got your boundaries up. There are particular energies that will not be permitted access because they have been feeding on the people, on the family of God, on those royal lights of the planet. In the near future, we've got the Ten of Wands. Somebody's under a heavy burden, or this is the completion of your heavy burden. Take it as it resonates. We'll get more clarification. The lens that's being looked through. The Four of Swords. So you could be recuperating from this burden. Heavy. This has been centuries. This has been going on. Apparently, there's been a feud, some kind of feud. And I don't know if it's between Jacob and Esau or freaking Cain and Abel or whatever the hell. But these people, these families have been torturing each other for freaking centuries because they can't get out of their head. They cannot get out of their head and raise up, elevate up into godly thought. So they're down here in low vibrational, I'm going to destroy your flesh suit, you know, kind of stuff, right? It's kind of nasty. So you're laying something to rest. You're making plans for the future. Somebody is being laid to the rest. In the environment, the Emperor is here. A respectable leader about stability and structure, rules and power. He's setting things right. And you know that the wonderful thing is, it's so amazing. You know, little people who want to be big people, they talk a lot and they yell vile verbiage and they gotta be, you know, this kind of thing, you know. But this person wields such an authority and a power that when he speaks, it's like he's having a regular conversation with somebody. It's like, well, you did this and this, and so this is what I'm gonna do, and boom, there it is. And it sounds so casual, but man, it holds heavy, heavy consequences. And he doesn't joke around. It's not like, oh, well, I'm gonna let you have another chance. No, they've had at least 4,500 years to get it right, and they have just done more and more egregious and heinous crimes against life. They have decided to become more and more dark, more and more villainous. So they didn't want to be light. They wanted to exterminate somebody's ability to be it while dressing up in the energy of it. One of the first things that I heard right as this was about to start was I went to like a fair at I went to a fair at the fairgrounds, and there was a heavy metal band there. A woman was singing, and it was she was just like rah, blah, 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 you know, and it was massive. I sat in the front row, and they had these speakers, and it was just like boom, boom, boom into me, and so I get up and I'm walking. I need to go get ice cream or something, and I hear, "This energy belongs to the mother." I was like, whoa. It was incredible. So, hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. We've got betrayal and trickery. So, the Emperor is here dealing with betrayal and trickery, laying it to rest. And the outgoing energy, is we've got the Knight of Swords, excuse me, in the reverse. So somebody's got a disregard for consequences. They want to stop this at all costs. They have lost. And the only thing that they can do now is try to locate these spiritual stars in the 3D and then destroy their temple housing spirit and soul. That's all they got left. So we could see some kind of chaos like that as they attempt to remove the flesh temples of the suns and the stars that are about ready to enter into their purpose and role. So be prepared. They were not able to defend their thoughts and ideas regarding their abuse in the world. So now they want to pour in more abuse because they're receiving what they gave. But we've got the Queen of Pentacles here. She is bringing revitalizing. She's revitalizing. Look, there's our child on that horse. Okay. So the mother, she's here providing safety, security, and financial blessing for the children of the earth so that they will have a solid foundation and a proper ease so that they can focus on their soul song and create from that source connected energy, right? So she's trying to provide for that. We've got Knight of Wands. It could be that you have persevered through the impulsiveness of the past. Yeah. So the lovers, the man and the woman who come together and create life, they have survived the impulsive behaviors of this passion project, and they're maintaining their boundaries now, which leaves somebody, the devil, in a freaking regret. They're in a state of regret now because the Empress, the divine feminine, is here. Yeah, she's still alive. She's still here shining. It's like she's announcing herself. These nasty jacks are upset that the Empress is being heard. These masculines are saying they have to put up with the Marys for a while. So they're really upset that they have to act like they are in agreement with God's decision to give the woman voice. They have to put up with the Marys for a while. So they think that they're going to be able to silence her once more, once God, kind of backs off and leaves or whatever. Yeah, once God leaves, and these guys, so they want to stay under the radar. They want to appear as though they're righteous, pious men, but they're just actors with malicious hearts. They're going to bury the Mary as soon as God turns his back again. They'll wrap her crown and silence her again. That's their intention. You've got these powers of 3. So the 3 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. Somebody's been working really hard for sustainable results, but we've got judgment here because they were using magic and abusive relationships to try to gain reward. So they're in trouble. Because the Queen of Swords is here. She knows the truth about scarcity. Why people's foundations have been in scarcity is because these nasty jacks have been siphoning the wealth out of the mother's womb. That wealth is supposed to go to the child. So I heard a masculine, he was complaining. He got separated out of the territory and he says, well, we have a child. So apparently there's a woman and a child in the territory and he had to get out and he's upset because they have a child. And there is a masculine telling him that he has... what word did he use? Entitlements. He feels that because this entity, calling itself a man, seeded a child into a woman that's in the territory, that he has a right to, that he has an entitlement to the spiritual inheritance of that child and that woman. So he's angry and he's spewing that he got disconnected and separated from it. And his nasty jack friends here are saying, play the game. We got to put up with the Marys for a while now. Okay. So they think they're entitled to the wealth, the spiritual inheritance that the Most High Heavenly Father has allotted for that child. These fathers have been taking that from those children and then leading them into addictions and really bad behaviors. We have a celebration here because those really bad behaviors and those who have been teaching them are being let go. They're being released. Yeah, they got to get on down the road. They got to get on down the road because you've got a victory here. You're alive. You're alive, and you're telling the truth about what you have endured. And I think that the memories of many lifetimes are coming back to the people now. At least God understands very clearly what has been done to us because he's reading our Akashics and our souls. He can see the tampering that has been done, the malicious intent by changing our destinies. These people have been getting into the Akashics, trying to change our destiny by rewriting it. So they're in fabulous trouble. They're in such a fabulous amount of trouble. It's incredible. But yeah, we got some masculines out there, real cheeky little bros, perfect script readers and perfect actors, always speaking the proper words and doing the proper thing. But there's malice in their heart and evil intent, and they have no honor or respect for the Marys. Absolutely none. To them, the Mary is something to be tolerated for a while. That's it. They would rather have her there as a statue with eternal tears running down her cheek and calling her the eternal mother of sorrows or the mother of eternal sorrows. That's where they want her. Silent in a corner, still as a statue with forever tears running down her cheek. Somebody's feeling like shit because you're moving on. You're releasing the baggage. You don't want to have anything to do with them. And they're feeling like shit. It's like, get out of my face. Damn it, stop pushing in on me. These entities who feel that they have entitlements to what God has given you. simply because thousands of years ago, they may have been your father or something. So they've been siphoning off of your freaking soul for thousands of years. Justice is here. The law of cause and effect. They got to give back everything they took. And they're mad. So so to them, in order to save themselves, they have to get rid of the Marys. They have to get rid of the mothers. Because the mothers are telling God what they did to them. And even if you're not telling, your soul has records, your Akashic has records of all of the tampering, all of the horror. So yeah, somebody's losing sleep. Justice is here, the law of cause and effect. Say you were only able to sleep an hour, hour and a half at most before being woken up and kept awake for 3 hours before you got to go take another little cat nap and then get up and go to work and freaking support yourself, manage yourself well through serious interference. They don't let you sleep. Years for me. This has been going on for over 2 decades. I was a napper, a cat napper. I would sleep for an hour, hour and a half, get up for 3 hours, go back to sleep, have another nap, get up, go to work, come out and do it all over again. They tried to seriously interfere with my ability to get rest and to manage myself well under duress. It was crazy, man. So now they're losing sleep. It's their turn to go without sleep and try to manage themselves well in that environment. Knight of Pentacles. Feeling like shit. Running. They're running. This Knight of Pentacles is running. Running because of the routine, keeping people awake at night, harvesting, siphoning their energy as they slept alone in their bed. Their idea is that if there's a woman that is single and living alone, that they can do whatever they want to with her. And they have been. They've been astral projecting into her house and tampering with all of her stuff from an unseen space and harvesting her energy while she sleeps, and then using her energetic signature to do shit in the world and then blame her for it. And I'm not talking, this is happening to the men too. Please take it as it resonates, okay? Because I'm just telling a story and I don't want to complicate it by, trying to, manage everybody's feelings and emotions at the same time. I'm just not able to do that. Divine Feminine. The star, Divine Feminine, has always been about family. She's always been about family. Now, Divine Feminine, okay, I'm not talking about the copycats who've been wearing the energy of Divine Feminine and then being a Jezebel. I'm talking about true Divine Feminine. She's always been about family. She's the one bringing the light and the life to the family. She's the nurturer, the healer of the family, the empowerment, the magnifier of the family. And these nasty jacks, they wanted authority over her power over the family because she's the healer. She's the magnifier. She brings life to the family. And they wanted to strip the essence from her and then wear that and then lead the family themselves. But you can see where they've led family. They've led family into infidelity, into divorce, and into destroyed family trees. They did that by harvesting the star energy out of Divine Feminine that was supposed to go to family. And at the same time, they've been sacrificing them and turning them into prostitutes. If not in the physical, then they've been doing that to their energy in the astral, in the unseen spaces. As I mentioned, when a single woman is asleep in her bed, they come in and they siphon her energy and then play in that energy and make her appear to be a prostitute, because they're going out sleeping and having reckless sex with everybody, and then they come back in and they pour their energy into her energy and then siphon out her good energy so that they can trade energetic appearances. Whew, damn. Whew. What the hell's happening here? Woo! I'm so, so she's got her. She's like, look, she's all about family, and she's like, hey, guard up. It's so freaking oh. Excuse me. Sorry. So your guard is up, and that's not shocking news. It's fully expected, you know? It's like, hey, it's not shocking news. Your guard's up. Of course it is. People have been having you in a 10 of Wands burden. They've been bringing in their foul energy to a single woman's and or masculine's room, and they've been dumping all this karmic crap into their energetic field after extracting what? An orgasmic energetic expression from a dream state or something. I don't know. You know, that's why Dream Lover, they come in, they give you a masturbation dream, they harness that energy, and then they offload their karmic debt. At least that's my thought around it. I don't actually know. It's just that this is what Spirit is telling me to say. So that's what's happening. So they've been burdening your energetic expression heavily with their karmic debt, their transference. There's a woman who's been wanting, she's going to have open heart surgery, and she's trying to transfer that onto another woman. Energetically caparot, or whatever the hell that word is, that magical practice of transferring death energy onto an innocent person, an innocent star, and forcing them to process the energy of it so that they can gain a little more life, cheating their way through life. You know, this woman who's having to have open heart surgery maybe should have taken better care of herself, but now she wants to put that burden onto a healthy woman. It's vicious. It's vicious. Look. Completion. So this could be like 10 of Wands burden. It could be the completion of you dealing with this shady crap, these shady mask wearing crap, or it could be that there's a heavy burden now for those who are shady. It's not shocking news. You got your guard up. You've got your guard up. They look, and now they're talking about getting back in. So these people have been evicted from the territory of this woman, this star, this divine feminine who is focused on family. She wants a safe and secure place, stable, safe for the children, and she wants these families to be able to love each other divinely without Jezebel coming in and doing magic and playing in the energy of them, trying to cause confusion in their mental body about their desires. They're really angry. They want what she has, but her wealth is being spent on her community. She is serious about getting the temples housing spirit and soul of her family grounded into the Mother Earth, put those roots deep into the earth so that some energy harvester can't just come through and sweep the energy out. No, it has to be grounded into the Mother Earth and held firm so that they can't use the energy of the community for their powerful magical illusions or whatever. They can't come in and just sweep it off because of the souls of the, see, the foot chakra has to be able to release the energy into the earth. And right now it's sitting on rubber and it stops that. So it kind of severs the connection where the energy harvester can just come in and sweep through the land and collect energy out of the thin air or whatever, you know, with their technology. And there is that technology out there. So I think there's been talk of moccasins and, you know, different substances like maybe hemp to make the soul out of that will not inhibit the energetic flow into the land. It's a symbiosis. Our energy is feeds Mother Earth, and then Mother Earth feeds us the food that we get, right? So it's a symbiosis. We feed into the mother, and the mother feeds into us. And we've got these masculines or whoever's been, you know, wheeling and dealing in this oil and these synthetic medicines and these souls, you know, cutting the energetic flow to the mother while they've been siphoning out her life blood, the oil and the water, you know, toxifying everything. It's all common sense. And they overcomplicate everything. It's like, keep it simple, sweetheart, you know, but they like, you know, instead of just telling the people, it's 500 pages of nonsense and words that most people don't understand. It's to cause confusion and to get away with sneaky shit, to commit fraud. So we got the Four of Swords here. You could be recuperating from this stuff or like, oh, so the twin flames are recuperating. They are making plans for the future. They're together. There's contracts that have been, so I had a vision of, there was like an upper dimensional masculine. He was like he was a step up or something. So he was up here and he was on his knees and he kind of leaned down with his face, and there was a younger beautiful feminine here, and she kind of tipped her chin up and they kissed, and in her hand she had like a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of paper, and there were like 6 lines of type on that. That was their contract. Keep it simple, sweetheart. You know, it's just simple and easy. There are no freaking complications here. It's plain to understand. But these masculines here, they don't want easy to understand. They want people confused, because that's where their power is in the confusion of the people. This Emperor and this divine feminine here, who's focused on families, they're not playing. These people nearly exterminated their bloodline by doing genetic experiments upon it. They created many variations of animal using their genetics. All of that has to be recycled. There are still original human beings. They've been stuck in a hellhole for thousands and thousands of years, and they did not go through the CRISPR, the genetic alteration, because they've been buried in a hellhole, and these guys just kind of forgot about them because they really thought that they were never going to get out of it. But God, right, resurrected them and led them into an ascension. He saw you down there, and he's like, oh, hold up, man. I'm taking that one back. And he's like, what the hell are you doing there, trickster? So the Emperor is here, father figure, discipline, protective. Somebody is effed up over you. He could be dealing with this. There could be an Emperor who is actually effed up over you. Maybe we've got something here with trickery and fraud. We're going to have to get more clarification. There was a severe betrayal. Apparently, this divine feminine and her husband, thousands of years ago, freed the people from Egypt. And Noah, who went up on the mountain and came back with horns, buried them, sacrificed them, and then created this whole big illusion, taking over responsibility and credit for releasing the people. It wasn't them at all. It was this divine feminine, this masculine, thousands of years ago, back in Noah's day. The devil took over and got rid of those who had freed them. And now those very same people are freeing those that these ones that betrayed them in a severe fashion have deceitfully convicted and imprisoned. They're being emancipated. They're given their freedom. They're being exonerated from the crimes that were laid upon them, like a tainted food supply. They're not supposed to eat from the tree, but these entities have been putting human body parts into the meat grinder and then selling it to the people and framing them all as cannibals. And the people have no idea what has been happening to them. They have no idea how these lechers have been setting them up for failure in God's eyes. But God sees through the illusion, and he knows very clearly what's happening here. So they've been exonerated from that crime. They didn't do it. They didn't even know they were doing it. So somebody is here. We've got heartbreak. Somebody's heartbroken. They're heartbroken because they weren't able to defend their whacked out freaking mentality and all of the brutality. They were, these people, they were brutalizing children of the Most High. This apple. And then they called it a competition. We're in competition. And it's like, no, it's not a competition. They attack children, trap them into some suffering state, and then traumatize them over and over and over again, dominating them, driving them into failure. There was no competition. It was straight up entrapment and brutalization with the people that didn't even know anything about a competition. They had no idea who they were because their memories were wiped. So somebody's behaving unpredictably with a disregard for consequences. They need to take out the rose. They need to take out this star, this divine feminine. We got romance. A disregard for consequences regarding romance. So they've been using proper words of love and intimate encounters to F people over and exterminate their bloodlines. They've been using love against the people. They have said that our emotions are weakness because we forgave them and allowed them to continue doing it. God is here to show them just how weak love really is. Queen Bee went round and round and round with sweet talk. There's cycles, triggers, and lessons. So the Queen Bee is confident and secure, a boss bitch. In this round and round of bullpucky sweet talk, using romance to gain access to the star's energy, the Queen Bee's energy, and then to use that energy to F people up in her name. So these karmic ties are getting readings on married couples to cause mind games, love bombing, deceptions. I miss you. Of course they do. They miss the side hustle. They miss screwing up your marriage and then coming in and feeding on you. Because that's how these sex-addicted karmic people get a life of leisure, is by screwing up your entire family, taking the wealth out of your family, stealing it from the children that you have birthed into that family. And now those people who love themselves have these ones blocked. And it's like they're spying on you from secret accounts because you've blocked them. You've detached from them. And so now they've made up some secret accounts. They might be sending you love messages. They've got bad credit and a lot of debt because of what they did in the past, bumping heads in the workplace affairs, masquerading as somebody of value when they're not. This is who they are. They're not of the family. They're not part of the family. These are the copycats that have been at war with the family, using proper words of love, but they hate you. They hate you. They love you and they hate you. They want to look spiritual, fake busy, having an ego death. These people are psycho. And they won't let go. They're freaking psycho. They're dependent on you. This jackass thug is going to learn a karmic lesson now. She has to learn her lesson. She has to learn her lesson. That's all they kept saying to each other about me as I was suffering, these nasty jacks. She has to learn her lesson. Why? Because they wanted me to graduate the initiation so they could come in and unalive me and take the reward. So they kept forcing more and more suffering and pain onto me so that I could live through it, transmute it, earn that reward so that they could sweep in and take it. No, absolutely not. So she prayed in seclusion, forming a bond strong with the divine. And you can see the true colors of Jezebel now out there drinking to cope with this bullshit that is now being revealed about them. They're not divine. They've been doing love spells on people to try to gain access to their energy so that they can dress up in it and then spiritually pretend that they are something special. But they're not. There's legal matters here regarding the mirroring of people. Utero. So they were mirroring people and then causing them to die. Now they're under pressure because of the pathway that they decided to take. They're ashamed of it. But it's the path they chose, and you're turning your back on the no strings trap. It could be that they're trapped there and they're not happy because it's too late and they're rejected. You're getting a wish. You're closing the cycle where these people have been consuming the apple of God's tree, his family. They love child. You're a beloved child of the divine, and you're bringing a firestorm to these people because of what they did to the beloved children of the Most High God. They are receiving a firestorm of karma. It may not ever end because they've been doing it daily for centuries on multiple people. And they have to pay it all back with interest. They're never going to get out of this. Their secrets, their stubborn, selfish secrets, my way. They didn't want to be responsible. They wanted to take the wealth out of your womb and then go party, or out of your spine, your root and sacral, the corpuscles of your vertebrae or whatever. I don't even know. Okay, there's just this weird energetic harvesting crap that these guys do. You've got spiritual gifts and you are being let go. You have been tested. You have been tested. What can you manifest from nothing? Can you create from nothing? Can you manifest something from nothing? And yes, you can, because you're a beloved child of the divine. You're special. You're not a copycat dressed up in the energy. You are the energy. You are the source of that energy. Somebody is going to the police station because divine masculine has been illuminated. They've discovered the truth about what's been going on here. with this no closure, reckless sex, leaving you hanging business. And they're saying goodbye. They're saying goodbye. They're fed up with this fairy tale marriage. They're having massive regrets. They're all in their feelings about the divine feminine. They jumped on the wrong freaking bandwagon is what they did. They betrayed the queen bee. They betrayed the queen bee. And now the queen bee's not giving them jack. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. But these masculines in the religious sector say they have to put up with the Marys for a while. So they need to be looked at seriously because they have evil intent when it comes to the Marys. They don't want her being heard. They have to put up with it for a while. But they have full intention of removing her from her status as soon as the divine is no longer looking. You're leaving these jackasses behind. You're releasing that baggage. They're feeling like shit because you moved on. You moved on. You moved on. They're feeling like shit because you know the hidden truth. They've been gaining status off of sacrificing the rose and siphoning her gifts and womb energy. They trap her and then they claim they wrap her crown so that she can't be heard. And then they claim they siphon out the intellectual property, the messages that or she receives, and then they pretend as though those are their messages. Justice is being served, the law of cause and effect, and they're losing sleep. They're worried. They're replaying what they have done to you in their mind. They're thinking about you. They miss you. Of course they do. You were their supply. Never again will they take it from you. The Most High God said, never give it back. You will never give it back. They will never feed on you again. They will never be supported by your supply. They're going to have to go through some kind of retribution. And according to God, the retribution for this divine feminine is for these nasty jacks to get off the planet. They can't have another opportunity to do this to the family again. It simply can't happen again. So the Knight of Pentacles, the ones who've been earning money by doing this kind of stuff, are running. They and their copycat are running. There's photographic evidence. They're running from the past. They're running from the memories. There's evidence of it. They may have worn the face and the energy of this divine feminine and done some nasty orgy prostitution crap. They may have spilt blood. They may have destroyed things of other people's. There's evidence of it. They're running. The star is here, the magnifier, the healer, divine feminine, and her energy is for families. And these people have been getting a contract with her and then abandoning her while siphoning out all of the wealth meant for family. And then they've been prostituting her energy and then calling her that. They may not even been doing it physically, but as she slept, they've been coming in and tampering with the energy, pulling it out, going and having an orgy, coming back and putting it back on her. They've been framing people bad this way. They're stupid magic. Uninvited guest is having a big surprise. There may have been a big surprise. There may have been an uninvited guest that was given permission to be in a state of collaboration, and then this happened. So now you've got your freaking And that's not shocking news. There's no shocking news. There will not be any more ability for anyone to deliver shocking news. Absolutely not. Not in the territory of Divine Mother. Absolutely not. No freaking foul play. None of this nasty jack sexual freaking perversion and tampering and siphoning out of the family trees and the wealth that God has allotted them. This is stupid. They're desperate to silence this woman. Mirror. It's not shocking news. It's a mirror. It's a reflection. So you've got your up, and you're holding your boundaries firm to the mirror. It's not shocking news. There will be no more shocking news coming from the mirror. They're not allowed. They have to leave. They can't not do this shit anymore. This is your completion of your cycle of dealing with these shady, mask-wearing, energy tamping, purpose delaying, life destroying, shady people. You're breaking up. You're breaking up, Scotty. You're breaking up. Mystery. The mystery. The illusion. Those unknown shady characters wearing masks, causing confusion. We've got laying to rest or planning for the future. There is a renewal and a retreat and a recuperation for the twin flames. Isn't this beautiful? Look at that space there. I would so love to sit there for a while. Isn't that nice? It's a lean-to. It's like half of a teepee. In the forest. Isn't that beautiful? Street. The rose that they had sacrificed and turned into an exhibit. You know, they've been calling the rose a collector's item. So the Emperor is here, disciplined and focused. We got effed up over you. Trash. Trickery and fraud, betrayal and heartbreak. Cooling down, pausing. It's going to stop. This has to stop. This trashy sexual behavior, you know, this betrayal of families and, you know, sacrificing your wife, replacing it with a man dressed as a woman, copycat, you know, this has got to stop. So somebody can't defend their, they can't defend their ambitions regarding romance. They had a disregard for consequences. They're a snake. They had a disregard for consequences when it came to cheating, stealing, tricking, trapping, abusing, torturing their romantic partners. You've ascended beyond that mess now. And you're breaking up with this taboo connection. The devil can no longer have a soul contract with the earth angel. So you're getting, the apple is getting a new beginning. The daughter of Eden, the family of God, is reconciled. So you've solved the puzzle of what has been happening here with the lineage, the connections, the families, the trees, the failure. And you're releasing You're letting go of those who have been feuding with you. You're using your sixth sense to bring about change and transformation. Sixth sense is source connected, upper dimensional, source connected. They're calling this divine feminine a soprano. She is of the upper dimensions, very much higher, very much more powerful than these men who have been wearing the energy of. She's the one who's supposed to be here magnifying the wealth of the family. And she's been getting hijacked by these masculines who want to create some kind of an organization of harvesting wealth out of the family. She's bringing a change to this. And the shadow, those of the shadow are going to be left alone, single. It could be that somebody's been looking for this talent. Somebody might be wanting to, somebody might be making a commitment over drinks. We got communications records, messaging. So somebody may be drinking because of the communications records that prove their commitment to whatever it is that they've been doing. The other day I had a couple of reads that signified that they were shredding evidence or trying to burn evidence. We've got divine intervention. We found the key to the core of the problem. It's this clown. We've got the key people have found the core of the problem, and now they are the catalyst for change. Divine intervention. The clown will be a forgotten person in the home. They have been. The clown is a forgotten person in the home. These animal friends, these genetic experiments, they're running away because the rose has survived and is about to encounter their true love, their true flame. This is divine timing. It will be in the divine timing. It's going to be a miracle because you sang and because you held firm in the torturous brutalizations that were placed upon your temple, insulting your soul. You're going to get a miracle. Dreams coming true. It's not over for you because you're a master. You have mastered your torment, that you were in while being bound. You mastered it, so you've earned your crown. You're going free. The sun is setting on this scenario, and there's going to be some people in eternal regret because their room will be empty. They will no longer have access to you, your sexual energy, any of your energy. They cannot go into your room and do anything to you. They took a gamble with this third-party sexual deviancy while you remained independent and free, never giving up hope for what it is that you desired here with family. The law is being served. The law, lawyer, judge, and the police are all involved on silencing these toxic attachments who are here to siphon the wealth out of the family. I'm hungry. Damn, I didn't have breakfast yet. I just decided to sit here and give y'all a message. Decided to go live. I hope you're doing well. Is your day treating you kindly? Hi, Karen. The wonderful thing about us being left in ruin, we've had to rebuild our lives by ourselves many times as divine feminines. We had to rebuild from nothing because they took everything from us and then left us there with nothing. So we had to rebuild. And fortunately for us, the wealth comes from us. So no matter how many times they take stuff from us, if we choose, we can wrap our mind around the intention and rebuild it on our own without any help. And they can't do that. They have to come and take it from you and then, party. But you can generate it all on your own. It's difficult. It hurts. You're supposed to be having a protector who's supposed to help you and then protect what is being produced there. But this masculine, whatever this is from the previous chapter, these genetic experiments of the curator who's been messing around with the energy of the human being. I don't know, man. Six of Swords, you're transitioning, you're moving out, you're leaving that baggage behind, and they're feeling like shit because you know the hidden truth. You know their secret. You know their secret to gathering treasure. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Centuries buried underwater, they have been absorbing the wealth of that and those recycled life forms from that space. We've got reflection in the reverse. So you've found the truth. And look, this says, being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity and reflection. So they no longer have clarity. You're no longer dealing with the reflection, the shady deals. The hidden truth is that somebody's been siphoning off of you. You're no longer dealing with that reflection, the shady character that's been feeding on you. So justice is here, the law of cause and effect, and they're losing sleep, replaying the events that they made you live through. They're worried. They miss you. They miss you, of course. You've been the one carrying their karmic debt. You're the one that's been making their life meaningful. You don't even have to be in their life. They've been throwing their need for heart surgery, their breast cancer, their whatever. They've been throwing it on you. These families, they've sacrificed their shining star and they've been using them to caparot or transfer their shit onto for centuries. And they've got a copycat over there, maybe not anymore, that was playing to be as you, being a Jezebel Hobag as you, trying to taint your reputation with God so that this family could absorb your wealth of what you are. And it's just so bad. It's too late for them to take any action. It's time. They're losing sleep. They miss you. And it's just too damn bad. It's just too damn bad. God has claimed his family. And these people that have been torturing you, these thugs, they're not acceptable for this new chapter. Apparently, every 30,000 years, humanity gets reseeded on the planet with the strongest seeds. It's evolution. And these ones who were cheating their way, feeding on everybody, they didn't do any work to become great. They were just taking the energy from those who were great and then pretending. And God sees through the illusion. The Knight of Pentacles has been working on a routine. And now he and his copycat are running because there's photographic evidence of the memories of what they have done here. Apparently they needed to take a souvenir. Freaking picture. Ego. Ego. Pride. Photographs. There's photographs of what these egotistical people were doing to those who love themselves. The star, the magnifier, the healer, the divine feminine who is pouring her life and her essence into the family, to magnify it, to grow it, to make it strong and powerful, was hijacked by an uninvited guest. And now that uninvited guest is running. Because the swords are up, they're no longer covered in the star energy. And this is not shocking news. The mirror. What's happening with the mirror? Holding back. It's not shocking news. They didn't express themselves well. They didn't express themselves well. They're an actor or an actress. Of course they didn't express themselves well. They're not the original. 10 of Wands, completion of this cycle of this shady character wearing masks, creating illusions. This looks like a masculine in that mask. So it's the copycat. Creating illusions, confusing people. They're not getting the money. They're not getting the money. So there's a renewal and a recuperation for twin flames who had been used as an exhibit, as a sport, as playtime. Street. Overwhelmed. Somebody's overwhelmed and stressed out by what they've been doing here. The Emperor is here. Somebody is effed up over you. And we've got trash. Worthless trash. So he's protecting you. And whoever was messing with your mind is now effed up. Because they're trash. They're worthless. This is what they've been doing to the people who love themselves. They've been running insanity and chaos through their minds to disrupt their ability to be at peace with their stupid Wi-Fi, Microsoft, soap opera crap being downloaded or uploaded into the transmitter receiver of the divine. You are a sensitive instrument of the divine. This temple, this flesh temple that houses your spirit and your soul, and you receive divine messages and then you manifest them into the world. And this system of masculines and their copycat hoe bags have been wrapping your crown, cursing it, and then extracting out those messaging and claiming it as their own. They wanted to replace you, but they're trash. They're trash. They ran insanity through your mind while extracting out the heavens and then acting as though it was coming from them, and it wasn't ever. They're trash. They didn't appreciate the beauty of you. And maybe this Emperor doesn't appreciate them for pretending to be the beauty that you are. They didn't care about you. They wanted to F you over and F you up one side and down the other and F everything any way they could. It was all about the F fest. Over-sexualize everything. They didn't care, man. They just wanted to stick it in something and draw out the freaking energy of it, whatever. So we got trickery and fraud, 7 of Swords, acting strategically with trickery. They're in heartbreak because we got cool down and pause. We're calming down because you didn't give up hope. It's on a cool down now. Trickery and fraud, they're heartbroken because they have to stop messing with your hope for a beautiful divine family. They were acting with disregard for consequences when it came to romance. This is a snake telling lies, getting people pregnant just so that they would have a entitlement to the spiritual inheritance that the Heavenly Father allotted for that child. The snake is not going to enjoy a new chapter. They have to get off the planet. They can't be here to infiltrate, molest, and steal from the family. You have escaped. Responsible, moral, ethical, honorable families have escaped. God's going to elevate you and lead you to an ascension and give you once more what is rightfully yours. These people have to pay it all back with interest. They're going to have to experience every suffering that you did. They're angry. They want to take out Divine Feminine because they feel that it's her fault that they're being punished like this. She survived. She dared come up out of that hellhole, holding the hand of God himself, and told on them. The copycat thinks this is an unexpected outcome. We've got secrets here. You've got a passionate reunion with your person. Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine are coming together, and it's going to be so much greater than what any of these people could have given you. They don't know what to do about it because the truth has been revealed over them lying about their destiny. These life paths that they've been enjoying were never theirs. They're chasing. This chaser wants to mend the connection, but they've missed their opportunity because of this habitual pattern of hurting people and then laughing about it. They've been found unworthy of a soul contract with this family. And now they're upset. Well, you should, they think you should understand how they feel. Now they're suffering from all of the harm that they've put into the world, and they think that you should have mercy for them. Thousands of years, these little babies, these little children have been RAPE'd by these men, brutalized, sacrificed, and then their essence, their soul essence, has been downloaded or uploaded into a copycat. They've been, what is that called? Vacant souls. They've been creating vacant souls out of God's family. They've been feeding on their soul. There could be a lot of conversation happening because now people understand what these third parties have been doing in their energy, in their spiritual bank accounts. And so they're making themselves absent. These people are in regret because everything they have done to others is now being done to them. It will all be done to them. They made mistakes in their commitments, and now they're getting detached from them. They cannot have access to any soul contract ever again, because they are guilty of sabotaging irreplaceable people with a love that cannot be matched, maliciously dressing up in their energy and then pretending to be that and laughing at their cleverness of being able to bring suffering to a powerful soul, calling them weak because they loved them and gave them the opportunity to hurt them. They're daydreaming of being forgiven. They're unsatisfied with what's happening here. We've got a lot of gossip going on. They're complaining. They cannot separate you from love or your connection with the divine. They're trying to program these youngers to believe that you're talking to spirits. And if you're talking to spirits, if I'm talking to spirits, then they got to be spirits because they never shut up. These entities, these unseen masculines, trying to program these younger masculines to believe that Divine Feminine is talking to spirits. These entities never shut up, so they must be the spirits that they're talking about. They don't want to be heard. They need these youngers to be programmed to do a bad thing. There's unfinished business. They have to stay out of the space of these soul ties that they have neglected. And the shadow is now confused. They have no, what? Yeah, the shadow is now confused. No longer can they tamper with those beings who carry light. God said this is the end of their relationship with batteries. They shall no longer feed on the family. They're very, very mad about it, and they feel that if they can eliminate the divine feminine, that they'll get away with it. But we've got some sneaky Petes and some nasty Jacks masquerading as religious God worshippers, but they're saying that they have to put up with the Marys for a while, and that means that the malicious intent is in their heart regarding silencing her again. We've got bullshit artists masquerading as men who actually care about God and leading families into successful, wealthy, generational family trees. You can see the failure of it for centuries as humanity has been spliced and diced and CRISPRed into degraded versions of themselves. They've tampered with the languages. The people don't even sound intelligent anymore. You know, they're running around with this stupid language that they speak anymore. It doesn't even sound intelligent. And that's what they intended. They wanted the royal family to become an animal. While the animal became royal. Six of Swords, you're transitioning, you're releasing the baggage, they're feeling like shit. We got, because you found the hidden truth. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. You're not dealing with these reflections anymore. You aren't a reflection, you're the real deal. The hidden truth is you are the real deal. The one they tried to bury under layers of water, under layers of dirt. So we've got peeping and distraction. So you're not dealing with this reflection anymore, this copycat. They're not able to copycat you anymore because you have revealed the truth. They're feeling like shit because you can see the truth. The truth is revealed about the copycat. Peeping Tom coming in, astral projecting into your house, finding out what clothes you're wearing, what do you like to eat, you know, everything about your life so that they can mimic it. It's not just about online stuff. They've been actually invisibly invading the people's homes and watching them in their habitual patterns and then mimicking it perfectly so that they can appear to be as you while they siphon your energy and then create suffering for you so that you struggle and then run foul language through your mind so that you appear as though you're just a low vibrational person. So peeping Tom is out there and we got distraction. So the hidden truth is that peeping Tom, who's been violating the sanctuary of your home, has been causing distractions, accidents. Subtle clues hint at impending danger, a breath away from potential turmoil. In the closeness of peril lies caution's call. These ones have been peeping, spying, and doing all of that, and then causing distractions, accidents, and other things to keep you from your purpose, to keep you constantly dealing with one distraction after another so that you would not come into your purpose. At the same time, dressing up as you in another space or place, and then trying to overtake your life and your purpose. Justice is happening here. The law of cause and effect, they're losing sleep. They can't sleep. They're thinking about you and every event that they put you through. They miss you, but it's too late for them to take any action. It's done. Danger is approaching. So a sense of foreboding fills the air and weighs on your mind. A lurking menace stalks you and keeps you alert. So we've got this person. They miss you. You've been processing their karmic debt for centuries, and of course they miss you. They're a zombie. They're a walking dead. They need your life force essence in order to animate themselves. Danger is approaching them. Peeping Tom is distracted. They've been causing you distractions. You've revealed the truth about it. God said they are the new fodder. They're the ones who are going to get fed on now by whoever these entities are that they've been calling forth and sicking on humanity to go draw out the energy. Yeah, they're going to have to feed those entities now on their own stuff. We've got a Knight of Pentacles who's been working hard doing this, and now he and his copycat are running. There is photographic evidence this prideful person and people have been doing to those who love themselves, leaving them alone, causing them loneliness. But you, through this loneliness, have connected with your distant twin flame. And now you're fueling the spiritual journey and inner growth of each other. Solo venture reveals hidden truths and personal growth. So yeah, you've came into temperance on your own, and now you're coming together. You've already come together. I've heard these ones complaining that she got married. So in the spirit or in the kingdom of God, you are married to somebody, and that's that. There's nothing these people can do. They think that because you're single and you like solitude, that they can do anything they want with you, but you've already been claimed by your spiritual spouse, and you may not consciously be aware of it because, you know, the way this works, but you've got your next chapter's wife or husband already connected to you. The divine one. And again, if this isn't resonating with you, don't sit there and get all mad at me saying you don't want a kingdom spouse or whatever, okay? Because I don't want to argue about it. It's just a message. It's a message for those who have never given up hope on love. Which, considering all of the nastiness that we've been through, is so incredibly amazing to me that we are still loved. Independent and free. So the star is here, the magnifier, the healer, the rejuvenator, divine feminine, pouring herself into family. The uninvited guest is on the run. We've got independent. They're on the run because you're going to stick on that hard hat and put on those gloves, and you're going to go get that damn job done. These men are going to sit there and say that you're irresponsible and incapable, and damn it, that is a damn lie. You know, many of you have held the positions of men in the workforce, and you have outworked them every time. They cannot say that you're incapable. They cannot say that you're irresponsible, because when they were sleeping, you were getting it done. With your freaking little spotlight on your helmet there, in that darkness that they left you in. Nasty freaking jacks. Taking a life of ease and grace while they forced you to labor so hard in the dark. Now you've got your barriers up. You're like, absolutely the F not. And this is not shocking news. It's like, no, absolutely not. You're not being held back by the mirror because your roots run deep and your crown is in the heaven. You are the planetary stabilizer, as the star, as the healer, as the life giver, the revitalizer. You're not being held back by this mirror, this copycat. They don't have what you are. They can't produce what you are, and they can't manage the potency and the power of what you are. If they could, they'd be it, but they can't because they're not. You're not being held back by the mirror. You're like that. What do they call that? You know, what is that? That woman who wears a hard hat, she gets it done. You know, back in the day, World War II or whatever, when the men went to war and the women had to go working in the shipyards and stuff, they got it done. They got it done. They pulled through and gave the men what they needed to fight in that war. And when the war was over, they put the women back in the house and shut them in a room and told them to zip it. Don't say a word. But without their effort, those men would not have had the supplies they needed to win that war or to be in that war. And it just boggles my mind at the lack of respect and honor that they deserve that has been kept from them. Trap. So you are not being held back by the mirror's trap. It could be that you aren't being held back by the mirror and that the mirror is trapped. Take it as it resonates. Got the 10 of Wands here. So there's a heavy burden for the shady mask wearer, creating illusion and confusion. They're not taking your money. They're not taking your wealth. They don't have the value, the internal value of soul that you have. They cannot create in you a vacant soul. You survived. You put on that hard hat. You turned on that little light in the dark and you got it done. You're not being held back by the mirror's trap. Because you got your freaking guard up. You're like, no, do not come closer. Because they're mimicking. They're not getting the value that they need in order to mimic wealth. They're not seen as value. This is a shady mask wearer that has been creating the illusion that they had value, but they don't have any value. They've been feeding on those who do and then pretending. So they've been pretending and now they need it. These people who have been pretending need you to save their life, and they're out there desperate to make a sacrifice. They need the soul value of somebody who actually has soul value. So we got the 4 of Swords here. So there's some recuperation and renewal for the twin flames. They're going to be in solitude. They're going to be able to stay with themselves. Somebody is overwhelmed because they were using the rose as an exhibit. They flaunted her and they laughed at her suffering, his suffering too. Okay, I'm both genders. I get lost and I'm sorry. I'm a woman and I tell it from a certain perspective. Please don't be offended. The rose to me is the woman. Somebody, this masculine, is overwhelmed and stressed out over what he did here. I certainly don't care anything about him. He is a threat to life. He should never, ever, ever be able to feed on the woman or the child that comes from her womb ever again. They've been pilfering God's inheritance that had been set aside for those children. They've been spending that money like it's just coming out of yeah, they're in trouble. God is going to F them up, and I don't care. I absolutely don't care. These people who keep saying, you know, they keep calling my name, saying, you know, whatever. And it's like, I'm sorry. Your shit freaking pile is not my responsibility. Absolutely not. I'm not going to help them deal with their blame, their shame, their karmic debt. No, not again. It's been going on for thousands of years, and the Rose has been too freaking forgiving with her beautiful love and her beautiful light. And Divine Masculine has been freaking bamboozled while these nasty jacks, these stupid mad scientists have been putting chemicals in the food supply that have been chemically castrating everybody and trying to exterminate the human family. It's crazy. We've got an unexpected surprise. So somebody's stressed out. Somebody's stressed out about these roses and their twin flames because they're getting an unexpected surprise. Surprises that spark introspection and lead to emotional breakthroughs. Unseen moments of joy that challenge your perception of what truly matters. Unexpected joys reveal hidden depths and profound connections. You're getting a sweet surprise, and somebody is stressed out over these roses being emancipated, being exonerated, and getting a sweet surprise. The Emperor is here offering discipline to these copycats that were running insanity through your mind, and now they have to deal with it. This madness that they put upon you. Because they are trash. Sexing it up, orgying it up, drinking and partying, wearing the mask and the energy of others, and throwing insanity into the world, and nobody cares about them. It's like, are you kidding me? What did you do to Divine Feminine? This trash was magically throwing insanity into the mind and the masculine too. You got a lot of folks out there that have been running around and they've been called insane, and it's not that at all. It's this magical crap. They from people who have no beauty in them, and they don't appreciate beauty at all. They want to destroy it. The Emperor's dealing with this. Mirror. They have no value. They're a worthless rat living in their own waste, trying to transfer that energy onto a Divine Feminine so that they can extract out Divine Feminine's a soul value and then appear as a caught intentions. She may want to strangle this masculine that led her down this path. She bought into it. She said, you said all I had to do was be a whore and I could get all this wealth. You said, yeah. They're unable to influence the outcome. And now they're struggling to find common ground because it's very obvious there is none. There is none. Because they are a trickster fraud, going out gaining intimate unions in order to break hearts and extract happiness and wealth out of the spiritual account. That's it. That's cooling down. We're going to stop that because you never gave up hope for family. You never gave up hope on connecting with your twin flame, your true flame. Probably, I mean, for me, and I'm sure that there must be others who have spent their lives looking into the eyes of men or women for that twin. I thought I found him a couple of times, but I was wrong. I was wrong. It was just this crap. What the hell is this? This keeps popping up. Yeah. So we're cooling down this third party situation because you never gave up hope for loyal, faithful union. No matter how many betrayals or instances of infidelity that you have been through, you never gave up hope for it. You may have decided that it's time to just be alone and pour your love into yourself so that you can get to know yourself and come into the balance and harmony within yourself and create a sacred and safe space for yourself and to prepare your life for somebody else who has done the same. So we're cooling down this third party situation because you never gave up hope for loyal union. You had hoped for this perfect thing and somebody else always came in and disrupted your relationship, broken the trust. You could be cooling down the heartbreak because you're no longer going out there to have reckless sex. You're not going to entertain that kind of connection. Not just because of the physical STDs, but because of the spiritual ones. And because you know that through this intimate encounter, they can actually dress up in your energy in the image of your soul value. This lowlife can come in and speak all the proper words and act the part just to tap that essence and then walk away because they've already got what they need. That's why there's the one night stands, or they're around for a few months and then they take off because they've extracted everything they need and then they're gone. And then you're left with heartbreak. And what, 1, 2, 3 years to freaking heal from it and then move on. But it's crazy, this cycle. They cannot defend themselves with this. They can't defend themselves. This is just crap. It's irresponsible, brutalizing, trapping crap, using romance to freaking gain wealth or happiness. It's so stupid. This is a lion-ass snake. And they're not getting another chance. They got to stay the hell out. We're not playing games. I mean, this mother, the divine mother, the Marys, are very serious about the well-being of their daughters, of their sons. And you got nasty Jack out here wanting to siphon the wealth and the happiness out of their potential, out of their family trees, their generations to come. The mothers are not happy about what these men have been doing. And now they're out there, we have to put up with the Marys for a while. I think that they should all just go away and we should get a new set of divine masculine. That's what I think. I think all these rats should be eliminated. Go away, get gone. They should never have an opportunity to seed into this territory again because they feel entitlement to God's inheritance portioned for that child. It's malicious theft from their own seed. So they're not getting a new chapter because of all the copycats, the digital whispers, the catfishing, the portraying divine people as hoe bags, comparing money, who's wealthier. So they want to destroy the reputations of divine entities so that they can become rich. They get paid to do it. They feel it's a competition, but it's entrapment followed by brutalization. There's no competition. When you got one person connecting with you with love, with pure heart, with the intention of building something magnificent with you, and this is your intention, is to catfish them and to destroy them while siphoning the wealth out of them. It's crazy, man. The snake cannot have a part in this new chapter. Absolutely not. The Marys are serious, and you've got these masculines out there who are playing the part of a religious, pious man, and they have to put up with the Marys for a while. No, get the F out. We don't want your fake support. Your lies. Bang, MFer. Bang, MFer. We got family ties that are here now. And that's why you're seeking help. Oh my God, the family, the new family. Yeah, so divine feminine has new kingdom spouse connections, or divine masculine has new kingdom spouse connections with their counterparts. And now you got Nasty Jack. The snakes are all out there. Help me, right? Because of the shit that they did. They missed the deadline. They did not get the proper sacrifice in order to puppet them and gain the wealth out of them. This is bad news. Because now everything they did to the roses has to be repaid with interest. These people who worship money has to pay it back with interest. You were the secret weapon, Rose. You were the secret weapon that this false flame exploited. They took a gamble with you. And now they're being rejected. Because you have guidance from above. And you know these people are being condemned for abandoning you. And they were trying to steal your destiny. But your destiny, your person has broken through. And you're going to get your destiny. He's like, kapow, wow, boom, 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 bam, boom. Sucker. Hey, sucker. I see you got my rose there. This Mary that you have to put up with. Oh, I want to give them the bird bad. Ultimatum, the button is being pushed. Internal combustion for frauds. That's what I hope. Yeah, evaluation criteria. Unfair assessments that were not showing the full picture. They were focusing on shortcomings and missing out on the full potential of everybody. They were intentionally focusing on lack. If somebody didn't have job experience, they never got the opportunity to gain experience in that job. They were kept from it. They were intentionally held back from adding value to their soul, from learning new things, from becoming what they were meant to be. They were listed as being insufficient, unqualified, and incapable. These ones who were here to plant beautiful seeds were called a sinner, a peasant. a lowlife when they were everything. They shall no longer step on your seed. They shall no longer step on your family tree or your opportunity to grow one. It's growing right now. Somebody may want to reach out first. Somebody's reaching out first. Maybe it'll be you. I don't know. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I do hope that it brings clarification to something that you already intuitively knew. I wish you a beautiful day, and I hope that, you know, you're warm, that you got some nice food. You know, I was at the store the other day, and there was this beautiful, it had an indigenous pattern, a fleece-like pullover. Ooh, it felt so nice. I was like, ooh, I want this. So I took it right off the rack, and I'm walking around with it. I'm like feeling it. I'm like, ooh, this is cozy. This is so cozy. And then I looked at the price tag. It was like $109. I was like, oh man, I can't have this. So I went and put it back. But it was kind of felt really good. I hope you do have something nice and cozy to wrap yourself up in. I did get this, so I'm happy with that. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Have a glorious day. Mwah.